All right there. Hello everyone. My name's Chris Fain and I'm here to show you a piece of Mingo County history today. Today I'm going to be showing you something called the Dingess Tunnel, located in Mingo County, West Virginia, right past Laurel Lake Road. The Dingess Tunnel is one of the oldest tunnels built in West Virginia. It was built in 1892 and there's a lot of bloody and dark history to go with it. Before we go through it, I'm going to show you what the tunnel looks like the best way I can. I got to be careful due to oncoming traffic. But yeah, we'll just pause here and I'll get closer to the tunnel and show you more of what to expect. Alright, now that we're closer, I can go ahead and give you a better look of the tunnel. The Dingess Tunnel was constructed in 1892, as this says. I don't want to get too close to it because somebody could come out of it. It's a one-lane tunnel, and up there it says 1914. The reason for that is because this road used to be a railroad tunnel, and there used to be tracks going through here. But this was changed in 1914 after the N&W Railroad Company founded this to be a more hazardous route and found an alternative way of placing it through over here. Now I see a car coming through, so I'm going to have to be careful. But it's just really cool to show you old history like this. But now we're going to see what it looks like to go through it. So I'll meet you back in the car. Alright, so I'm going to have to hold the camera here as we go through. But I'm going to show you all the Dingess Tunnel. We're going to go through it together. And I'll tell you a couple history lessons about it. So whenever you pull up to the tunnel, you got to make sure to yield to oncoming traffic because this is a one lane. So if you get stuck, you're going to have to both back out. And that's going to really suck. But I don't see no one coming, so I guess that means it's my cue to go. Wow. You're not going to ever see anything like it in the area. Being able to drive through it really gives me chill bumps. There's no place like it. There's no other type of tunnel that you'll find in the Appalachian state anywhere like this. Now, initially this was a train tunnel until 1917 when the N.W. Railroad pulled the trains up in the Lenore community and Dingess community, eventually converted it into a pedestrian and car tunnel. As I've said before, this tunnel has very dark and gruesome history, and many people claim that the Dingess Tunnel is haunted. Reports of hearing voices or people touching you or people even sitting in your... there's been stories of people allegedly seeing people in their passenger seat of their cars. So there's a lot of back lore behind the Dingess Tunnel that I'll leave in the description below links to so that you can probably have the opportunity to see those. But overall, for this very long tunnel, it's definitely something very interesting. So we're about to be out of the tunnel now, and so far I haven't had any ghosts pop up on me yet. Sometimes you'll see graffiti in here, depending on if the county has cleaned it any. They just installed these new lights recently. See, it looks like somebody was waiting for their turn. So we'll just go ahead and cut off here, and I'll turn around and we'll go back through. Taking a look at this older building, the three-way carryout located right outside of the tunnel of Dingess, West Virginia. We are going to now go back inside of the tunnel and head back home. But I'm going to share a little history story with you while we're in the tunnel to try to give you an idea of what the community was going through at the time. So the year was 1892, and Route 52 highway, I believe, not the highway, but the road, or 42, I believe, was just now starting to be built. Now, when they originally built this tunnel, as I said earlier, it was intended entirely for trains. Now we have to wait a second. Let me see. I think we're good. So we're going to go ahead and go. This is the other side of the Dingess Tunnel, mainly where pictures have been taken historically. Now, going through this tunnel again, you'll notice that it gets darker in some areas and lighter in others. the story I wanted to share with you about it was, urban legend has it that the Dingess Tunnel is objective to much racial history. Dingess, West Virginia, urban legend states is back in the 1890s, early 1900s, this was referred to as a sundown town. Now what that means is that at the time, African Americans were not permitted to be in a town due to Jim Crow laws whenever the sun went down. It was a nasty law, and it was a law that really pushed us back in Western progression. But it's an important part of history that it's important for us to recognize. Anyways, allegedly what would happen is that people of other races who would disobey that law, I've heard African Americans and Chinese before through word of mouth, they would be allegedly left here and killed. And their bodies would be left in this tunnel as kind of like a warning to other people not to come to this town behind us after sundown. Now this has changed a lot over the past 100 years, and the area doesn't really represent that anymore. But it is a piece of history that's important to recognize. I've never been able to find any true documentations of it. This has all just been urban legend, but going 150 years ago, it's really hard to find much history that's documented unless it's been well archived. So a lot of times word of mouth is all you have when studying the history of these small urban areas. But overall, I just wanted to share the Dingess Tunnel experience with you. I want to thank you very much for being with me, and I'll catch you next time.